up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with a banger reaction from one of our favorite animation teams, SocksStudios, and they're back talking about their scary game that they made and they just dropped. He doubted me, so I made the scariest game. I'll be on hype to jump into this chat. This is like, I don't want to say it's a series, but this is some of my favorite content that they've talked about is this game that they've made. So I'm hyped to jump into it, but before we do, can you show SocksStudios some love by subscribing to the channel and chat? We're trying to get to 250,000 subs, so if you've not yet, please smash that subscribe button and join the Sauce Gang family. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo, woo. Oh, SocksStudios.
I got a little bit bored and decided to spend over 1,000 days of my life just to make my dream game. What a stupid idea.
Amazing.
Amazing. Than in a shower. That's crazy.
Shut up. You don't understand the amount of hurdles and issues I had to go through to make this all possible. It still haunts me. From hundreds of people doubting me and even screwing up my
one of my most
state.
viewed videos is my reaction to them making this game.
What did you do? You own the game, bro. You do, like, it's your job.
You posted the trailer.
When's it coming out?
June. It's just been like 4 months.
It's still not out.
But we have a lot of huge updates to show you guys, like new levels, monsters, and even an animated trailer.
More
It took
monsters?
way too long. So I'm actually excited to show you guys.
Oh, it's a dog. My God, it's so cute.
Let's
It's
go.
literally like an Overwatch trailer.
We will even have a free-to-play game for you guys to try out today on all devices. But where do we even begin?
is it
How
out?
does an idiot like me even make a game? If you don't know, we are talking about Benny's Backrooms. That is like the best game ever made. Feel free to wishlist. The idea all started when there was a huge surge of backroom videos all over the internet, and I was in complete. The thing is, the whole trend of the backrooms is like dying faster than my will to live. So we got to do it in like 3 years, hopefully less.
But I think you're a bit late on the backrooms trend. I don't know.
Just a little late.
It's tiny smidge feeling.
No, it's okay. It's only gonna be later.
Yeah, bro,
It's only never coming out.
Release date, bro. What are you gonna do?
You can't call it a release date if there's no release date.
I know, right? Whenever this game comes out, like,
Honestly, bro, I
Someday.
looked up backroom
Possibly.
games yesterday, and I think the page numbers were like 4 pages long of backroom games.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm
bro,
saying.
there's something called skibbity backrooms, bro.
I'm trying, okay?
Stop it.
So I decided to make my own Backrooms game with its own custom lore, monsters, and its own interesting gameplay. What was really important was making sure the game had no microtransactions, no NFTs, and no ads playing in your face every second.
What's the point? You make a game to not do
How
that.
do we
Why'd you
make
say
money?
NFTs, bro? Are we in 2021? What?
Just to combat that, I'm gonna make my own game called Lenny's Backrooms, and I'm gonna put NFTs, microtransactions,
And it's actually gonna be released before Benny's Backrooms.
Anyway, I went to work. I took out a notepad and I started writing endlessly. A bunch of different concepts and ideas. Here's what I fully got planned out. Nothing. I ended up deciding that I wanted a multiplayer Backrooms game where you get lost in a maze, solving puzzles, avoid Minecraft monsters.
Oh, original joke.
Isn't that like a self-report?
There was actually a lot more that I wanted to add, as I was very ambitious when I started, but reality checked in a couple weeks and I started learning how hard game development really is. Realizing how hard this
near
project
impossible.
was gonna be, I knew I was never gonna touch grass or even have a human connection for hundreds of days. The first issue is that I'm not good enough to code a dream game that I envisioned.
No crap.
We already knew that, buddy.
The other issue is that I have
Sometimes
a
you gotta learn the hard
so-called
way,
job
chat.
currently, which is being a YouTuber. Now, it can be debatable if that's considered a full-time job, but sadly, it is for me. I have to pay for my mortgage and give scraps to the editors in my basement. So I knew I was gonna require some help. So I started searching the internet for possible developers to help my cause.
That's kind of crazy. You can just hire anyone, and then they will just make whatever you want.
I want a furry twerk simulator right now. I'm paying you $2 million for this.
I want to twerk a lot.
Candidates,
A
but I
simulator
wanted
of
to
the
find someone
twerkage.
that was hopeful for the possibility of this game's success as much as me. And finally, I did. But hiring a developer it's on the expensive side. I ain't paying that.
What you mean you're not paying that, bro? Bro wants a free game.
I
and
want to
free
pay him
money.
cookies.
So I lured him into my place and threw him in the basement with my editors, and we began working. He helped my idiotic idea actually turn into a
Come to life.
possibility of a game. Sick. So it was time to start making a monster on what the whole game was going to be about. It's named Benny. Benny's Backrooms? Benny's Backrooms? Anyone? I hate myself. I knew I wanted a single mascot character to be the main focus of the game. And it's not like the world needs another mascot game. I just thought it would be better since the main story will be built around this monster, making him more memorable. At first, I went through and requested different designs from different artists.
What the heck am I looking at?
They definitely got the green one right.
Ew, bro. Thank God you didn't come up with this, bro.
I wonder what the backstories of these other monsters were supposed to be. Who's this guy? Was this the milkman?
My dad.
I even
My
drew
dad
some
never
of my
came
own
back.
concepts. Don't sue me, Disney. I know my artwork is far better than anything the world has ever seen. While this was going on for weeks, we started the actual development of the game. The thing that made this game so difficult to create in the first place is that it's not only multiplayer, but it was also procedurally generated. This means the level is random every single time you play it. It's like gambling.
No way, bro said it's like gambling.
That is sick,
want to
dude.
promote gambling. You want to sponsor gambling.
Part of what makes the board
Especially
game
if you're under the
Catan
age of
so
18
amazing.
Gambling, you should totally.
So run to those slots, little boy. Run.
You never know what you're gonna get. We put together the walls and floors of an office, a 9-to-5 office worst nightmare. This created a very damp and just eerie environment. What was funniest is that since we didn't have a monster design yet, it was just a floating... I was just following you around.
Get out of control
Be
sometimes,
careful you
chat.
call ugly in middle school, because after a couple of weeks passed and eventually we landed on a basic model idea.
Yo,
Is this
Benny on the
D-Day?
beat.
Is this D-Day? Is this Normandy right here? Why is this so like eerie?
And honestly, he looks a bit too friendly, but not to stress. This was all part of the plan. The idea was that he would first look friendly, but with every level you beat, he progressively got scarier and scarier to reveal his true form. But first, since he had no animations, he looked super goofy trying to get you. The opposite of what you would want from a horror game. Oh, these are some nice animations. Yoink. You mean my animations now.
Yoinkers. Yoinkers, Scoops.
Where's Benny?
Oh.
No, 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 no! Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
That wasn't even the worst issue. It
sevens,
was the
chat.
amount of bugs we had. From Benny glitching through walls to literally doing random dances in the hallway.
Oh. Why did he just do that? Is that even coded? Did he just do that?
I think it's goated. No, I think it's goated.
No, I think it's becoming sentient.
The goated coded.
Going to-
The
I think
coded
he's
is
gonna
goated.
jump out the screen one day and just eat everybody.
Oh my God, Benny, no! Don't put my arm in your mouth. No.
You think that with people freaking out about AI taking over the world, that it could have made this monster be somewhat smart? But no. We knew we needed some more help. So I took hostage of some artists and animators. That way our development team can focus on moving
like
the
your
game
basement
forward
is
and fixing
full,
bugs.
bro.
The first thing we did was polish the office level with the actual items and furniture to make it look even better than before.
We polish off. That chair is in the table. How is that polished off?
This also added another level to Benny's AI that actually allows you to hide from under objects. On top of that, we made it possible for you to even pick up loose items and throw them to distract Benny.
Oh my God.
Insane game design.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
This makes it way more strategic and possible to move around the maze without getting caught. Now, when little Jimmy's playing the Benny's back room, he will think he's safe hiding under a table. But we learned he didn't subscribe to the channel, so Benny's gonna rip him apart. And the same will happen to you if you don't subscribe right now. The next thing we needed was a way for you to actually beat the maze. Right now, you sort of just run infinitely until you lose your mind or get caught by Benny.
Actually, you ruined the idea of the backrooms by adding monsters into it. The eeriness of the backroom is just that you're alone and there's an endless maze. So. I hate people like that, bro. Like, shut up! Shut up! It's so boring, bro.
The next thing we needed was a way for you to actually beat the maze. Right now, you sort of just run infinitely until you lose your mind or get caught by Benny. We used to have a sanity feature, but you will see this change into a phone feature later in this video. So we decided to add puzzles that you had to solve in the maze in order for the exit to open.
Oh, not puzzles. I'm not smart enough for this.
Oh, I gotta use my brain.
This for sure increased the stress levels of playing because you had no idea if Benny was lurking right behind you. And after a couple months, we had a very basic game of escaping a maze, solving puzzles, and just avoiding one monster named Benny. The thing is, this whole game is being held together with my thoughts and prayers, so it's still gonna need a lot of work. So we knew we had to add a lot more, which includes an entire finale level with crazy movie level cinematics. I mean, I paint movie magic. But first, we started by adding more levels such as a hotel, pipes, and frozen foods. Each level has its own set of visuals that are very contrasting from each other. Even though each level is a maze, they're generated slightly different, so the hotel actually feels like those long hallways you can run down. And with these new levels, one of the most requested features was to add more monsters to a specific level. Wow, what a great idea, Gold's game. I think you mean my idea now.
No royalties. Give Gold's Game his royalties, bro.
And what better to add to the hotel than an actual bellboy? This thick creature wearing this dashing outfit will be haunting your nightmares later on. Just like any bellboy. If you decide to drop off your luggage, he will eat you alive. On the hotel level, there is also a puzzle where you have to find a room key in order to unlock the locked luggage. With the luggage, you need to drop all 3 of them in order for the exit to open.
Whoa.
Who are you?
Not only do you have to worry about Benny lurking around, but now you also have to listen in because bellboys spawn all around this puzzle. When you hear snoring, it means they're sleeping, and you're safe to approach to steal the suitcases.
The bellboy doesn't really look like he's like that hard to beat. He's just kind of standing there.
Yeah, he's just kind of like sleeping.
Yeah.
That's what you think. Like, he's gonna like come alive and chase you with his little bell and his fat thighs clapping around.
He's gonna ring it right in your ear. He's gonna make you go deaf.
The camera, bro. I dare. Yeah, exactly. No, pull up. I'm gonna pull up your sword.
But as soon as you hear the bell start ringing, he's awake and you're dead. In order to beat this puzzle, you have to take your time and listen closely to see if you're safe or not. It doesn't sound too stressful until you forget that Benny could be lurking around any corner.
Oh no, what is that? Is that Benny? Benny, you're still knocking on this guy's door. I told you, leave him alone.
As nice as the hotel sounds, it's not even as cool as the next level. We have the frozen food place where Queso was born. One of my favorite puzzles on this frozen food level is that you have to take the shopping carts back to the storage place in order to beat it. It's really silly, but it's kind of funny seeing your friends hop around on the back of a shopping cart. We were gonna add Queso to this level, but then the gigabyte download for this game would be way too large for any PC to handle.
Wow, Queso Disney is not even in here.
Dude, he's catching strays for no reason.
Bro, brought up Queso twice, bro. Slow, bro.
Putting in those keywords in the videos will get promoted.
Weren't they gonna label it BBC's Benny Backrooms Cereal?
And since we had more levels, we could also start revealing Benny's true form. With each level, he's progressively becoming more beautiful as his limbs and ribs are really starting to show.
I don't know about
Beautiful.
that one,
I think he's becoming more freaky.
His appearance is not the only thing that changes, but also his animation. For each level, if he catches a person, his way to remove that person from the game becomes more and more aggressive.
These animations are actually pretty cool.
Did you see how deep he went in his mouth?
I wonder what freak we hired to do this.
Oh, whoa. Oh god, I hear Benny. I hear Benny! I hear Benny! Shove my face into the ice cream.
This made me really excited for the final level we were gonna add because Benny looks like a friendly Disney character to something you would never want to see at the dead of night. Almost a whole year went by, and at this point we needed to polish the levels even more. Each level we wanted to add more variety of puzzles, but especially more monsters. Benny was great and all, but it would create some repetitive game loops. So we first added vents to the maze. This allowed the player not only to hide away from Benny if he passes by, but also travel through the maze in a different way. But we couldn't make it all happy. We decided to add a monster to that vent. After hundreds of different concepts of monsters, we landed on a guy called Mr. Twister.
Yo, the one thing that looks like me, yo, rename him right now.
Rename or recolor.
What would I name him? Mr. Tentacly.
This is why you're not naming anything.
Okay.
Mr. Twister stays in the vent and only gets angry if you intrude his home. If you do that, tentacles would explode from his stomach, sending the player flying. At first, we didn't have any animation, so it sort of just sent the player flying upward. But after weeks of polishing and creating an animation, it turned into something genuinely horrifying. The only way to avoid Mr. Peepers was not to go in the vents if you saw a pair of eyes in them. And for some reason, if you think you're safe in the vents, you're actually not. We made Benny be able to travel in the vents because I hate everyone.
Creepy.
But this is nowhere as cool as the other monsters were added. We also decided to add some variation on the roof by adding a monster named Rufus.
Banger name.
That is his name.
That is pretty sick.
A little scary.
Oh,
As a joke, I sent an artist of a meme of a guy taped to the ceiling, ended up turning into a horrifying monster. This monster lives in the holes and travels between other holes in the back rooms like he's some sort of worm creature.
What worms have you guys been seeing? Like, I need to see this worm that you guys have seen that makes you think that looks like a worm.
I cut a worm in half once.
What?
Why?
Why?
Samurai sword. Oh!
Yo!
I did it with a knife. I used
Yo! We have a serial killer in the call. What is going on?
Serial worm killer.
literally made twice the life.
When you're walking the back room, sometimes the holes are just empty and you are completely safe. But sometimes if you see saliva dripping down, that's when you know Rufus is there and you should not walk anywhere near there. If you somehow walk under that, well, you're gonna have to be Rufus snack for the day. It will take a quick chomp and even throw you down when it's done with you. Each monster was about a month or so of work, so we couldn't go too crazy if we wanted to get this out in time. We started sprinkling some lore throughout the levels, and you could slowly understand where Benny was coming from and what the backrooms was in the first place. We also wanted to show the Alcazar scientists, which were the first to discover Benny, and show what happened to them. The Alcazar scientists had a way to try to slow down Benny, and one of those were traps. No. Not those traps. These traps were an Alcazar mine and even a Roomba. Obviously, it didn't work out for them because it had no effect on Betty. But it sure has a great effect on players like you.
I bet that was that way, bro. I bet that was that way.
These traps also lay themselves all around the office level. And if you go near it, well, your player model will go flying. The Roomba is even funnier as it works just like a Roomba, bouncing from wall to wall. But if you get too close, well, you'll end up flying.
Yeah, so this is new, chat. I don't think we've heard about that yet.
And ragdoll effects because it's awesome. So you'll see a lot of death animations encourage player models to go flying, which only adds to the proximity chat we will add later to this game. One more monster we'll add was from the Alcazar team themselves. They had a dog named Buddy that helped them discover the back rooms. Sadly, on one of their last adventures, Benny rediscovered Buddy and ended up killing him.
You monster!
I think I remember them talking about the dog. I think we've seen
Bring a
that.
dog into there, bro.
Why did we write this? Because we're villains. Over time, the Tessel started seeping into Buddy's body, turning him into a malnourished hound beast. Now, Buddy will start using the ends of time in the back rooms.
We knew about the...
You ever seen Fullmetal Alchemist?
Yeah. Dude, that's
The doggy dog. It's a doggy dog world.
Is not original.
The only thing you'll recognize him
monster
from
dog.
the previous form is his golden chain around his neck saying Buddy. You can even get a good look of it if Buddy ends up catching you, because if he catches you, it will give you a nice
You're
big
a
juicy
chew
kiss
toy.
on your lips.
I hear breathing and stuff. Ah, what the? Oh my god! Get away from me! Get away from me!
You can see that over a year and we have somewhat of a game going. On top of that, the more features we add, the more bugs appear. Every time we add a monster or a level, it just seems to break something else. But nothing compared to having multiplayer to sync or even work. You think we could just add code saying add multiplayer and it would work?
Of course, that's how coding works.
Just like saying I want this to happen.
Say open sesame.
Just tell GPT and it'll give it to you. Yeah.
We needed multiplayer to be the biggest part, as that's where several months went to. But that allowed us to add one of the coolest features into the game. What started as a piece of cardboard into a handy dandy Alcazar phone. Even though you were stuck in a maze, I didn't want you to lose your mind when getting lost.
Oh, thank you, Socks. You're so kind.
Instead, we added a handy dandy little map device on the phone so you could see where you were, where your friends were, and even the maze generating underneath you. This can make it really funny, as you know your friends will just perish off the map when this little icon just disappears from the game. Why this is so good for multiplayer is that you can laugh when your friends get ripped apart from a monster. We also added other features like a camera so you can take photos of your goofy characters and send them in the messages.
Can I say slurs in the text messages?
I'm sure people will use the messages to send very thoughtful things to each other.
I'm gonna message you. Take off your
Heartfelt,
pants.
warm, and kind.
But the phone
Very
isn't just
kind.
for fun, but it's also for a way for you to
Kind
survive
messages,
in the
chat.
maze. If you saw
They're
our
good
last
for ya.
video, you saw this
So
tall
good.
humanoid figure missing its skin
Heartfelt.
and carrying a crowbar.
Oh my God! Attack on Titan.
Dude, you should like put microtransactions where you can get skins for the monsters and you just give them skin. That'd be sick.
This entity is literally not visible to the eye. The only thing you will see walking around the back rooms is the flesh footprints it leaves behind. If you're playing with your friends, if you're not careful, you could accidentally walk into its path, giving you the jump scare of your life. You need to pull out the camera app, which actually allows you to see the invisible man. Once you see it, it will head right towards your toes, trying to suck him. The only way to fend it off is to keep your camera on long enough, which will eventually burn him out of existence. This can be a bit tricky, as you probably have other monsters to deal with. But what is funniest is seeing this monster from a third-person perspective. You had no idea what's happened to your friend. All you know is that they're dead. This monster, for some reason, was not as complicated as you might think, but for sure one of the scariest, until you hear about the next couple. There's also a lot of other features on the phone that just play off as being funny in multiplayer, using the proximity chat, like music. All these features were great, but when we're closing near on a date and we still have a lot of features we needed to add, we had to choose our favorites. We decided to add a level that was completely dark and even an art gallery. The art gallery was by far the coolest level, as it's filled with a bunch of different art pieces that are honestly pretty scary.
Dude, someone actually drew that.
Oh, the art's kind of cool.
That's kind of awesome.
And this level lies the
fresh.
scariest monster in the entire game. The first one, called Billy. Billy is a tall, long, light, pale creature wearing
Yeah,
a
we heard
yellow
about.
shirt with blue
I think the
overalls.
last video about the
This
game they
is
talked
what
us
peak
about. Billy.
gamer looks like.
Sounds like Armin.
Armin from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, he does.
Why? Because the bald cut?
Yeah, it's the cut.
bold
You got
cut,
the Armin
bro.
cut.
Creating this creature into a 3D model was probably the most terrifying thing we've ever added. You honestly do not want to encounter this monster in game, but I'll tell you what you have to do if you're unlucky enough to come across it. This monster stays completely
slice of
dormant
pizza.
until an unlucky soul comes across it.
Okay.
Oh, it comes
I don't
out
know
of
what the
the
word
painting,
dormant
right?
means. Is it, we're talking
You
to
don't
like
know what
10-year-old.
dormant means?
Look at this handsome Chad. He'll stay completely still in this image because he's trapped there eternally. You're probably wondering, how is this scary if he's trapped in an image? Well, as soon as you stop making eyesight, Billy will disappear from the painting. Billy has officially spawned onto the maze, and he's heading right towards you. As the first-time player, you probably have no idea that Billy has disappeared, so you continue moving, having no idea what you have just done. This all sounds extremely hard to code so far, so I will have to make sure our developers don't get to see sunlight for the next couple years.
Hooray!
Easy enough. Just throw the key away.
Nonetheless, Billy sprints towards the nearest player at high speed, stopping at nothing. Look at this funky animation, bro. He has never ran before in his life. No technique. The player usually still unaware of this unless he goes back to see that Billy has disappeared from the painting. But usually it's too late as he hears very fast footsteps approaching him. Billy will kill the player unless he does one thing. Look at Billy.
Why does he want you to look at him though? Is he a freak?
So pretty and kawaii.
That's right. The only way to stop Billy from moving is just simply looking at him, which freezes his animation. And since the game is multiplayer, anyone can look at him. But how long is this gonna keep you alive? Because you still have to find an exit to win. So you're gonna have to get out of his line of sight eventually. And soon you have to stop looking at him. And he starts moving again. Unlike Benny, who eventually wanders off, if you get away from him, Billy will hunt every player down until the end of time. So if you're working on some puzzle distracted, Billy will come behind you, snap your neck, dead instantly.
Oh my god, that scared me so much. Don't blink or Billy will get you. What do you mean? That scared me so much.
And he will do that to everyone on your team unless you escape the maze. Pretty scary, right? Well, that's until you hear about this next level. Introducing Lights Out. Wow. What a completely original idea. It's definitely not the office level with just no lights. Nah, what? No.
Bro, at this point, bro, there's no budget at this point. He's doing it off of volunteers.
He's coding himself.
Just because we're lazy doesn't mean this level is absolutely terrifying. Barely being able to see what's around you with the only source of light being the flashlight from your phone. But don't worry, we're not that lazy because we're adding another monster to this level. So we thought, how can we make this game even more dangerous and more annoying for you to play? Introducing the Smiler. In most Backrooms games, the Smiler is a face in the shadows that look quite creepy. As you know, we have been following our own lore, so we decided to give it its own body. He has light scoliosis, as you can tell from his body, and a beautiful set of chompers. Just like any nice monster, if you get near him, it will test out those teeth on you and then drop you like you're garbage. And for some reason, it was so hard to add this guy into the game, I wanted to die. That's a joke. Not really.
Socks, you good, bro?
Why he works so perfectly on the Lights Out level is that if you see his facial features from a distance, but if you shine light on him, you will see his perfect figure. The thing is, it doesn't really like the light on it. This will cause the Smiler to shake irrationally.
Why is he tweaking, bro?
There's light around him. He doesn't like light. He's like, no, get that away from me.
He likes the darkness. I was molded by the darkness.
And turn off your flashlight so it's not mad anymore. Or you can man up and keep flashbanging this monster until it had enough, which then it will aggressively make out with you, causing you to die. So this will make it hard to navigate through the Lights Out level as you only have your flashlight out at certain times trying to find a way out. With all this, we're almost finished. finished with a complete game. During all the development time and the animations, we've been filling the game with lore from images to entire cutscenes that you will see when you beat a level. The whole point of the game is to find out who Benny is, how it became the monster it is today. We are still not done. To finish this game, we needed a final level. This level is different from all the other levels as it's not a maze. It's more of a set lore piece to learn who Benny is and what is truly happening in the back rooms.
Wait, there's x-rays at Benny on the right.
Oh yeah.
No way.
The level starts you off with walking down this long hallway that is greeted with a giant door. This is a place where all the scientists were to do their research. You can only imagine how happy it was before something terribly wrong happened. You manage to get yourself inside when you see a place divided between computers and a medical center on the right. Here, a tape will play to reveal some graphic scenes, and you can look around to see some clues to show what Benny really is. The whole level will give you some creeps as you made your way around the facility, but it's not over. The level starts getting fun when you find a teleporter between the real world and the back rooms. You think this will allow you to finally go home and beat the game, but you will soon be mistaken. The level starts with a high-speed chase as Benny will try to chase you down. You can do your best to escape into the teleporter just for it to come in after you. The teleporter was for sure unstable as you see the back room slowly start to collapse around you as you're being chased by this monstrosity. You see the end in sight, which is the original elevator that got Benny no-clipped into the back rooms in the first place. So you run to it thinking you're safe just for the opposite to happen. So now we have monsters, levels, lore, and even a finale to our game. What else do you want from me? If you want to find out what happens, go wishlist the game because eventually it will come out when it's bug-free. Or if you're broke, no worries. We already got a free version on Roblox that you can play on any device.
There is a Roblox version.
Roblox? Are you serious? We got a Roblox version of Benny Backers before GTA 6, bro.
So go play the game and feel free to roast it.
Let's go.
So gamers, today we're...
But I'm Venom. Let me bring you in, Sauce Gang. Okay, dude. So we're like there. Almost. The game's almost, it's kind of there, but it's almost there. It sounds like they've added so much. I'm hyped to play this. Let me know what you guys think. Please show SocksStudios some love by subscribing to the channel and chat. We're trying to get to 250,000 subs. If you've not yet, please smash that subscribe button and join the Sauce Gang family. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, it's eat, sleep, and make beats. And as usual, we count on one another. That's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got nothing but love for the Sauce Gang. Peace.